Dang you, Van Helsing! Hello, my name's Brannagan Brooke, and welcome to Brannagan's Reviews, Episode 2. Today is December 2nd, 2014, and today I am going to be reviewing the book A Walk Across America by Peter Jenkins. But before I get on to the review real quick, let me explain the intro. I previously had a Brannagan's Reviews Episode 2, and I reviewed the 2006, 2008 movie, something like that, around there. Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman in it, and I uploaded it, but it had a bunch of movie clips in it, and I got copyright notice on that, and then I took it down and edited it a little bit, uploaded it again, still had some copyright notice, and so I decided to take it down. So eventually I'm going to redo that without the movie clips, but so that's why the intro, "Dang you, Van Helsing," kind of makes sense if yeah, so maybe you already knew that. It was an insider thing. But okay, on to the review. A Walk Across America by Peter Jenkins. Okay, well, I just finished this book today. It's a 288-page book about Peter Jenkins, main author. Takes place in 1973 to 1975, about Peter Jenkins in his mid-20s, or early 20s, fresh out of college. One day, him and his dog decide to just walk across America from New York to Louisiana to really discover America and what it was all about. And you know, the Vietnam War was going on, and he really wanted to get to the heart and meat of America. So him and his dog, his half Malamute, dog, walked across America. So and let's see. Well, I checked this book out from the school library in like October, and then I just now finished it today. And I took a reading counts test on it. I got 90%, so I got 9 out of 10 on that, so I feel pretty good. So this book, it's pretty good. I like how straightforward Mr. Jenkins' style is. Like, he just gets to the point, but then again, it's a little hard for me to visualize it. If he used a bit more descriptive writing, maybe I could visualize it a bit more. Or I visualize it in my head, but what I visualize is completely different than what it actually really is. So the way I visualize it is completely different than what the vast majority of people would visualize it, because my head is wild up in there. Oh, and I'm sorry for my hoarse voice. For some reason I'm kind of losing my voice. Got a little bit like mucus built up in him. So, up in here. Lungs. So this book, it really, takes place in the 70s, and it talks about a bunch of hippies, drugs, a bunch of rock and roll music, concerts. The good thing is, there's actually, I'll show you I don't want to spoil it, but there's a bunch of photos thrown in here. Picture of the half Malamute dog named Cooper. Very pretty dog. It's actually a very good photo. And then I'll show you one of black and white. Some of these photos could have been better though. So. And then I'll show you. Like, there's some illustrations in the beginning of chapters. So, I really like the premise. I like the idea of this guy in the 70s just walking across America with his dog, camping out in the woods, backpacking it, and living off the fat of the land. And, I mean, how I came across this book was, like, one day the librarian came down to my academic lab with a big cart of books, busted out a bunch of books. This was one of them. She talked about all these books individually, and then we had to vote on them, and which ones would we rather read out of the 20 books that she brought or something like that. And I said, out of all of them, this one sounded the best. I'm sorry, getting the sniffles. So I normally would not pick a 288-page book. I'm a very slow reader, I just don't read that much. I don't have time, or not motivated, or just forget. So I've been wanting to do this review for a long time. Been doing the Brannagan's thoughts as filler because I had to take down the Wolverine review. I'm not the Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman. So this, like, it can be a bit of a hard read. Well, it's an easy read, but you'll be reading along and start. It's hard for me not to start skimming, or just like, okay, read like a sentence of 2 from this chapter. Okay, yeah, skip that chapter, read some of this. So I can honestly say I did not read word for word, but I did try for the most part. Peter Jenkins, he's just a normal guy, just right out of college. Just like, he's not a writer, but he wrote other stories such as, well, there goes laptop. I guess the sequel to this, the continuation, from what I searched up on the internet, is across China. So I guess he goes to China and walks across. Hard not to spoil anything. And then some other book. So I definitely like this book. It was just a little too straightforward and hard for me to memorize, but I kept on thinking, so he writes a lot about the people that he meets in this book, Can you imagine, like, if you ran across Peter Jenkins back in 73 or to 75, and you're like, you know, you're obviously gonna buy this book because you ran into him, and you know, and you're reading along, and you see that, you read that he's talking about you. Wouldn't that be cool if you find your name in here? So that's what I was thinking about the whole time, man. That would be cool if that happened to me. Excuse me, I just kind of burped. But, anyways, so, grading system, 1 through 10, 1 being really bad, and 10 being really good. I give it, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. I'm like maybe 7.5, and I'm like, a little too harsh, and I don't feel like doing half numbers. 7, a little too low, but 8, I'm like, yeah, so 8 out of 10, and I'm gonna have this, my own rating system that nobody else in the world has. Okay, so I'll explain my new rating system. A Brannagan means that it was good, and a shenanigan means that it was bad. So, bottom line, Brannagan, good, shenanigan, bad. And this was a Brannagan. So, Walk Across America, Peter Jenkins. I'm going to try and find Walk Across China and some of the other books. 288 pages, a lot for me, but maybe not so much for you. So, I recommend it. Check it out. It may, talk about some religion and life. And, I'm a deep thinker. I think very psychology, one of the two. Very deep in my mind, so definitely recommend it. It may change your life. Walk Across America by Peter Jenkins.